All right, welcome back in. New at noon, we're on your side with how you can help if someone suffers cardiac arrest. North Star EMS is encouraging everyone to learn CPR, and it's not as hard as you might think. We saw a little story early on in the newscast from Jillian Brooks talking about this, as a matter of fact. Charles Stewart with an EMT is in studio right now. How you doing?
Good, Sheldon.
Okay, so when we see somebody in distress, what's the first thing that we need to do?
So first thing we need to do, especially if they've gone unconscious, is we want to make sure that 911 has been activated. And then after that, if we do think that they're in cardiac arrest, then we want to start doing our chest compressions as quickly as possible. Just midline on the chest here. So for adults, it would be both hands. For a child 1 to 7, then just the heel of one hand.
Right.
And if you're working on an infant up to 1 year of age, then we would just use 2 fingers, kind of midline of that nipple line. And when we're doing our chest compressions, we want to compress to about 1/3 the depth of the chest, allowing that chest to come all the way up between those chest compressions. A rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute. So the old standby is Staying Alive, but there's lots of songs out there nowadays that have that 100 to 120 beats per minute.
Yeah, so rescue breathing's not necessary anymore, or what?
So they've really gotten away from that for lay rescuers. And one of the big things was they found people would go get CPR trained, but then they wouldn't do the mouth-to-mouth. And so something is better than nothing, and so we just want to get you on the chest and get you doing those chest compressions.
Okay, well, we're in a situation. There's excitement, there's tension, you're distraught. There's a lot going on. When you're calling 911, what kind of information do you need to give there?
So 911 is going to want to know, first of all, your address and your phone number so that we can make sure we're getting the resources out to that specific area. They're going to ask some more questions, but none of those questions are going to be slowing that response down. And then any of these really important things like CPR, they're going to stay on the line with you. They're going to walk you step by step through all of these things. So really the biggest thing is for you to stay calm, because if you're panicking, then it makes it hard for us to help you help that patient.
Yeah, well, that's difficult to do. It's a tough moment right there. Now, if there's 2 of you, you want to work in tandem, because it can actually wear you out pretty quickly.
Yes, absolutely. CPR is hard work. What the American Heart Association recommends is swapping out rescuers on the chest every 2 minutes. Because once you've done 200 chest compressions, you need a break whether you think you do or not.
Yeah, can you hurt somebody doing this?
So especially the older the patient gets, yes, it is likely that at a minimum the sternum is probably going to separate because it's just held in there by cartilage around. It is likely that a rib may break, but if they survive that CPR, they're not going to be real worried about that broken rib.
Yeah, Charles Stewart right there. Thanks for the information right there. This guy has survived many times with you,
He
right?
has.
Yep, because he knows what he's doing when it comes to CPR. Learn this yourself as well, and we'll continue to help you out with that. You can look at this a little bit later on WBRC.com and the WBRC News app. We've got more coming up right after the break.